All right. Let's see if we can try this again. See if we can try this one more time. All right. Make sure I fix the connection issues that I was having before. I might as well start over if the connection problems were really as bad as they were seeming to be. I don't even fully know if they're fixed. That remains to be seen. Can you get a shout out? What's up, Soats Me Goats? How's it going? I hope the connection is not as bad as it was previously. I'm going to turn my preview streamer down to the lowest resolution possible so I don't have to be streaming high resolution audio, high resolution video while this is happening. But basically, what I was saying before everything cut out is that I went back and I watched I watched the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds of my leaked analysis video for Game of Thrones season 7, right? I went back and I looked at the first minute and that encompassed the first 3 episodes. And what I saw was crazy because the leaks are extremely accurate. Like, I mean, extremely accurate. Like down to just like, I'm just gonna read for you guys the first 3 episodes, so no spoilers. The first 3 episodes, what leaked almost 9 months ago, before season 1, before episode 1 of season 7 of Game of Thrones aired. HBO allowed this to happen. Like, some disgruntled employee, and I know that employee cannot still have a job. There's no way that employee still has a job, but like somehow, some way, it's nuts. It's nuts. But let me pull you guys' comments up here. Refresh that so I can get like a direct view to you guys. There we go. Okay. So you guys ready for this? Like I said, no spoilers. So just in case anyone's confused, there will be no spoilers whatsoever in this. It will only spoil the first 3 episodes that have already aired. So if you haven't seen the first 3 episodes, then I don't even know what you're doing on my channel if you haven't seen the first 3 episodes already. So I'm just gonna read this off. Episode 1. This is what was predicted by these leaks 9 months ago. Episode 1. White Walkers marching south towards the wall. That definitely happened. We totally 100% saw that in episode 1. Bran crosses the wall, meets Ed. Absolutely. That's totally what happened. So, perfect so far. And then this scene right here gets even... God damn it. It's telling me that you guys are experiencing buffering right now. And I have no idea why. No idea why. I'm just going to close this screen and hope that it... Well, I'm not experiencing buffering, so I'm just going to keep going. Okay. Back to these leaks. So, the Sansa stuff is nuts. It says Sansa wants to give the lands of those who betrayed Jon to those who supported him, but Jon in the first episode refuses to hold the children of the Karstarks and the Umber families responsible for the actions of their fathers. This doesn't please Lyanna Mormont or Sansa, but Jon basically tells her to deal with it. He doesn't plan to rule the North the way it's always been. So, that is so accurate. It's like, there is no way that the person that leaked this didn't have access to the script. There's literally no way. This was an HBO employee that leaked this. So I'm curious as to whether or not this person still has their job after this gigantic leak. Because if the rest of this leak as is accurate as these first 3 episodes, then I don't even know. Okay, and here's the rest of it for episode 1. At the end of episode 1, Dany and her fleet land at Dragonstone. Definitely happened. Nobody says anything. 100% true. She walks the steps to the keep, and we follow her through the building until she reaches Stannis' old war room. 100% accurate. 100% accurate. She looks out the window at the land ahead that used to belong to her family. She picks up one of the chess pieces on the table, looks at Tyrion, who has followed her up, says one line, "Shall we begin?" End of episode. This person had a script. There's no other explanation. This person had a fucking script. Like I said, no spoilers, Ghost. No spoilers. I put that in the title for a reason. We're only talking about the first 3 episodes. So, yeah, everyone in the comments, just so that everyone knows, if you understand that there's no spoilers in this, type no spoilers in the comments so that everyone can just realize you don't have to leave. No spoilers. All right. Let's get to episode 2. Because it's so accurate. It's so accurate that it's ridiculous. Don't spoil in the chat. No spoilers in the chat. Absolutely do not spoil anything past episode 3. If you, Alicia, you're in the chat. If you see any spoilers for anything beyond episode 3, please ban the person, because I said no spoilers whatsoever. No spoilers. Okay. Episode 2. Jon receives a raven from Dany. Totally happened. She's summoning the Lords of Westeros. Jon and Davos decide to go. They need the dragon glass from Dragonstone. Well, it's a little different because she only summoned Jon. But still. Jon leaves Sansa in charge of Winterfell. Definitely happened. Jon leaves Ghost at Winterfell, where he stays all season. Now, we haven't seen Ghost yet. So they haven't even shown Ghost. So, if you want the full spoilers, I made a video on it, and then you can go look at it. It's called Skeptical Analysis of Game of Thrones leaked plot. Now let's get to episode 3. Jon and Davos arrive at Dragonstone. Happened. Tyrion meets them on the beach, and the Dothraki take their ship. All that happened. Tyrion brings them to meet Dany, encountering Missandei and Grey Worm on the way. Slightly different, Missandei is actually on the beach with Tyrion. The throne room contains a number of Dothraki. All true. Dany and Jon meet. Dany demands that he bend the knee, which he refuses. Evidently, he discusses the White Walkers, but she doesn't believe him. Tyrion insists that Jon isn't crazy. More or less, that's completely accurate. Davos tries to mention Jon Snow's resurrection, but Jon Snow dismisses it. Pretty much what happened. Dany respects Jon immediately. Jon to Dany, maybe not as much. Feel like that's debatable. Feel like that's a little debatable. Bran arrives at Winterfell. Mira returns home. Okay, so that's different. That's slightly different. We haven't. Okay, Bran does arrive at Winterfell, but we haven't seen Mira return home yet. Okay, so that's all that I saw. Like I said, I only watched the first 4.5 minutes of my original video, and that's what I came across. So yeah, guys, if you like those leaks are true. Like, if you want the rest of the spoilers, there is a video up that I put up about 9 months ago where I go through all of them. And the thing is, I wanted to do this because people seem to have the idea that I don't admit when I'm wrong about something, which is not true. Like, if you guys have been following me, you know that when I'm wrong about something, I'll say that I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. And I was totally wrong about these leaks being not true. But you see, the thing is, I wasn't just like, these leaks are false and they're never going to happen. I was more like I was more like, I don't want this to be true because a lot of this seems really fucking dumb. Like, so, yeah. So, those leaks, first 3 episodes at least, totally accurate. But now, guys, it is time to get to your Q&A. If you want more about the leaks, look on my channel. It was about a video posted about, actually there's 2 videos posted about 9 months ago. And I also leave a link. I also leave a link to the Reddit post in that video. So yeah, is Jorah really healed? Someone just asked me that question, and yeah, that's a good question because I think that there's a possibility that he's not healed, and I feel like if he's not, then that kind of makes it a little bit better because we see at the end, we see Sam shake Jorah's hand, which, by the way, was a stupid fucking decision. Even if you think he's cured, like this dude, like literally the night before had grayscale, like a deadly disease, um, and Sam shook his hand. So there's a possibility that Sam is totally infected. And yeah, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. The Jorah thing being healed overnight is totally freaking dumb. There is no way that Jorah just gets healed overnight. That is the most ridiculous. And then I had someone in the comments, "Oh, it was clearly stated that several months had gone by. You should pay more attention to the episode." And I'm like, where in the world can someone point to me where it was stated that several months had gone by? Because I didn't see that at all. Like the Archmaester guy was clearly like, we're shipping you off to Valyria tomorrow. He clearly said that. And then it's clearly the very next day when he's checking on him. And he's like, "You're perfectly healed." And then to me, the scars on him just looked so ridiculous. Like it didn't look like he'd had his skin peeled off. It was just, it looked like, it looked like sores or something. It's just the worst storyline so far. And hello, Gemma, my girl Gemma. It's great to see you showing up in the live stream. Okay, another Q&A. To reconcile Euron's fleet making it around the continent, you think Euron went to King's Landing but sent most of the fleet to the Rock? Also, could his luck be a mystic trick? I think when it comes to Euron dancing around the ocean, it's just that's just laziness on the part of the show. Like I cannot give them credit for anything right now because I feel like nothing ever really gets explained or resolved. It's just blah 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 stupidness. Blah 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 stupidness. Beto LA, I don't know how to pronounce it, gave me a super chat and he says, "Is it possible that Bran is the Night King?" I've heard this so many times, and I don't think it's possible. I don't see it as being possible. We see, uh, last season I believe it was, we see presumably the guy that gets turned into the Night King, and I don't think it's Bran. I don't think it's Bran. I don't. I think Bran is a completely different figure. I think Bran is the three-eyed crow. He's not the Night King. He's not the Night King. He's the three-eyed crow. He's become the three-eyed crow. So I don't think that. I don't think that at all. Q&A for the first four episodes of season 5. The first four episodes of season 5 are leaked. Could this be another troll action? The first part of the leaks is true. The second part of the leaks are false. Um, from what I remember from the second part of those leaks, I hope that it's all fucking false because it was um from what I remember, it got pretty bad. From what I remember, like it got pretty darn stupid. Like it'll make you rip your hair out and want to like jump off a bridge and like slap your mother and stuff. Like it was so I like if the first few episodes are true and the rest are just stuff that the internet made up, then I'd be okay with that because I don't think it's super far off that it's some truth just to mix it in with some bullshit. I don't think that's super far off. I feel like that could be the way that they were going. They were just they had some real information, and then some of it was just like fan theories. Because the major thing that I'm sure if you watch that video, you know what the major thing is. You know what the major thing is. Yeah, the major thing really really bothers me. So let's not get into that though. Okay. As far as Bran, yeah, I feel like Bran is like, oh my god, Gemma, Secrets of the Citadel has just this awesome theory video that she recently put up about Bran and like his like just go watch it about like his like the circular like timeline of A Song of Ice and Fire, and it's just I don't want to spoil it, but just go to her channel and just watch it. It's fantastic. If you don't watch Gemma, then just you're nuts because like absolutely some of the best Song of Ice and Fire content out there, and it's not just like the crappy like Game of Thrones content that you see like everywhere, where everyone just where you just get the person that just reads off Wikipedia. Like Gemma clearly knows what she's talking about, and that's one of the things that I love about her channel. But yeah, I feel like it's the leak is hopefully I'm pretty sure it's like some truth and then also some embellishment. Uh, so yeah, let's look at some more Q&A. I'm gonna check on my video because I always tell you guys to leave Q&A on that video. So I'm just gonna check and see what you guys are asking me. Let's see. I have hundreds of Q&A questions, so I'm sorry I can't get to them all. Okay, let's scroll all the way up to the top. I can't even scroll all the way up to the top. There's like days and days worth of comments. Okay, let's see. Someone says, "I know some think Bran is acting detached now because he's seen so much that he can't be bothered with people's feelings, even Sansa's. But do you think maybe that wasn't Bran creepy talking to Sansa about her wedding night, but actually Bloodraven? Maybe Bran was tricked into thinking he was going to be the new Three-Eyed Crow, but he they were using his body to leave the cave. Yeah, super tinfoil." You think that's tinfoil? My sweet summer child, please go back and watch my video. Um, the truth about the three-eyed raven, the truth about the three-eyed crow, because I have been talking about the three-eyed crow stealing Bran's body for years now, and I totally see that as a possibility. Like, and the final, like that's the thing. I don't think the three-eyed crow's dead. He can't be. He died in that werewood tree. So his consciousness is inside of the werewolves, no doubt about that, at least a bare minimum. And Bran is acting so differently. It's like he's a different person. Like it's like he's absorbed someone else, and he keeps saying that I am the three-eyed raven. I am the three-eyed raven. So I don't think it's far off at all that the three-eyed raven stole Bran's body. I mean, that's totally possible. That is so within the realm of possibility. I don't even think people realize how within the realm of possibility that is, because Bran already clearly has the power to take over people's bodies. And I always go to the Varamir Six Skins chapter from A Dance of Dragons, where Varamir he's dying and he's like, I can move my body into somebody else's body, and he attempts to do this, but ultimately he's not powerful enough to do it. But the Three-Eyed Raven, yeah, I mean, I totally that's a very distinct possibility. I don't think that's tinfoil at all. I don't think it's tinfoil at all. Okay, let's get to some more of these Q&A. Um, how much time passed during this episode? I'm assuming a lot. As we see Euron at King's Landing with Jaime, and by the end of the episode, Euron has sailed around the continent and is burning Dany's fleet, and Jaime has marched all the way to Highgarden. And I'm guessing that by next episode, Jon will have mined the massive amounts of dragonglass. You see, I thought this show would be faster paced, but I didn't realize the way that they were making it faster paced. They're cutting corners a lot with the traveling thing, and it's not lining up. I know some of you guys hate it when I talk about teleporting, but really, like, look at season one. Like, how many episodes were they marching through the Riverlands? I mean, there's so much content, and that's like, to me, that is the nature of fantasy books. Like in pretty much every fantasy novel that I've ever read, there's always like great long traveling scenes. The Wheel of Time, The Lord of the Rings, A Song of Ice and Fire, Malazan Book of the Fallen, The King Killer Chronicles. Like traveling and like the journey is always like a thing. That's always a thing. And even I was so disappointed, I always say, in the fifth season when I was looking forward to getting Tyrion's awesome journey on the Rhine River, and they just like gloss over that completely. So I don't necessarily like the fast traveling. And as far as how much time passed in this episode, it has to be at least, let me see. He marched on Highgarden, which is, it has to be months. at least several weeks at least, because I believe when Cersei and Robert Baratheon they go to Winterfell, I believe it takes them a month to get from King's Landing to Winterfell. So Jamie would have had to been traveling for several weeks to reach the Reach from King's Landing. So weeks have passed. Wait, can Bran see the future? Of course he can. Well, he can get glimpses of the future at this point in time. We don't know exactly to what extent he can see into the future, but yeah, definitely he definitely is developing his power as a green seer, and yeah, so eventually he'll be able to see into the future. Yeah, I agree with you, Gemma. It has to be at least a month. Um, have D&D irreparably damaged the TV series? Yeah, they have. I mean, there's just so much that just can't be fixed anymore. Um, and it's really sad, but we gotta just take it for what it is at this point. And like I said, I've kind of been grading the episodes on a curb, but I actually did enjoy episode 3 more than I thought I would. I actually enjoyed it a lot, to be honest. I got a lot of moments that just felt like real Game of Thrones moments to me in that episode. And speaking of TV shows, I don't know how many, like, I know this is like a digression that most of you won't care about, but I don't know how many Star Trek fans there are. But Star Trek Discovery just got postponed 9 months to quote unquote preserve quality because there's been a lot of crap going on with that show. So yeah, how much is a fortnight? A fortnight is 2 weeks. What's the possibility of Dragonbinder showing up? I'd say very low. I'd say very, very low. Will Littlefinger try to kill Bran? I don't see why or how he would. I don't think so. Hmm. Okay, Q&A. What special attributes does wearing a face grant to faceless men? We know there are baby faces in the House of Black and White. At we know that Arya took on at least the appearance, voice, and height of Walder. What would happen if Arya wore a baby face? It was easy for Bran to warg Hodor because he was simple. Would it be easier to warg Jon because he's dead, or Arya because she's no one? See, you can't put logic into the show when it comes to the faceless men, because I feel like with the faceless men plot in the show, they've shat on everything that George R. R. Martin set up. They've totally, and I'm pretty sure that any book reader that has read A Feast for Crows agrees with this. They've completely shut on the faceless men storyline. Completely just let out diarrhea onto the face of the faceless men. So there's no logic or consistency anymore. Um, is she Arya Stark or is she no one? She cannot be both. She cannot be both. It makes no sense. It simply makes no sense. Like I said from the beginning that Arya would never become no one because she's Arya Stark. And at the end of last season, she even says to Jock, he says to her, "Now you are no one," which made no sense. And she looks at him and she says, "No, I am Arya Stark." So she is Arya Stark. She's not no one. So how is she exactly using the magic of the faceless men? Because you need to be no one. So like it contradicts itself. It contradicts itself more than, oh, never mind. I probably shouldn't say that. But it's contradicting, and there's no logical consistency within it. And I know it's fantasy, but still, fantasy still has to be logically consistent. Stuff just doesn't happen for no reason. Um, yeah. Let's see. Let's look at another question. I'm a bit scared the leaks turn out to be true, because if they do, I seem. What are you trying to say? If they do, I seem is turning out to be true. Then I fear the show will fall to fan service and will be shitty. You fear the show will fall to fan service and will be shitty? Look, the show has already become fan service and gotten shitty. What show have you been watching? Yeah, like Game of Thrones. If you love this show, look, I feel like there's a misconception on the internet right now that I just hate Game of Thrones, and I'm just such a hater of this show. I'm not at the point where I just hate the show. I mean, I still like it. I still enjoy watching it. I mean, come on. It's one of my favorite fantasy book series ever being translated onto the big screen. That doesn't mean I'm not going to talk shit about it. I mean, look, Tolkien Tolkien, like I have several friends that are super into the Lord of the Rings books, and they will talk shit about the Lord of the Rings, the movies, all day long. All day long, they'll just talk shit. Oh, this was shitty. That was shitty. They left out all this. They didn't do this character right. This character's supposed to be like that. This place is supposed to look like that. But then if I was like, hey, let's watch Lord of the Rings, they'd be totally down for it because they still love it. And that's my same feeling for Game of Thrones. If someone said, if like I had a group of friends over and they were just like, hey, let's watch Game of Thrones season 6, get stoned, get drunk, and let's just watch it, I'd be totally down for it. Why not? I love Game of Thrones. I love a good sword fight. I love that. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna criticize it. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna point out when it's really shitty. Come on now. That doesn't mean I hate it. Okay. Let's get up. Let's move on to some more questions. Okay. Wasn't Bravos against slavery? Why would the Iron Bank have investments in slavery? Because it's human nature. It's human nature. Money rules the world. And even though they're officially against slavery, that doesn't mean everybody in the city is against slavery. I mean, you have Volantis, which is called a free city, but it's full of slaves. You have Pintos. Illyrio had slaves. Pintos is a free city as well. Illyrio had slaves. I mean, it's just it's kind of like people are screwed up and fucked up, and especially when money is involved, people, that's people want money. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. People, money, 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 money. So that's the answer. That's my answer. Someone says, "I think you are crazy. I hated this episode more than season 6, episode 9." Um, what was season? I think what episode was that? I don't remember. Um, and season 6, episode 10. Those two I despise. Season 6, episode 10 wasn't so bad from what I remember. I don't even remember what the episode was. And honestly, I like this episode. I mean, difference of opinion, I guess. Let's see. Maybe my 9 for this episode was a little high, but I I I liked it. So, what did you mean when you said Melisandre is going to Volantis to get Valyrian steel or something along those lines? Well, I didn't say that she was definitely going to Volantis to get Valyrian steel. I said that in the show, not in the books, the man that Tywin Lannister hires to rework the Valyrian steel sword ice was from Volantis. And also, if I'm not mistaken, the largest Red Priest temple is in Volantis as well. So yeah. So there's multiple reasons that Melisandre would be going to Volantis. So yeah. What do you think about the leaks that came up 6 months ago? Yeah, I've already talked about them. Like I said, spot on. They've been spot on. Do you think Theon will eventually kill Euron, or will they continue to squander his incredibly strong development? Also, will he reunite with the remaining Starks, become the Sea Wolf as he's always been leading to? Oh, I don't think he can ever show his face in Winterfell again. I feel like Arya alone would just kill him. Or like, and Jon Snow, I don't think Jon Snow would be hearing any of that from Theon. Like Jon Snow never liked Theon. Like Theon and Jon Snow have never been friends. So that's another thing. Jon Snow's king in the north. If I was Theon, I wouldn't go anywhere near the north. Just because you're kind of cool with Sansa doesn't mean the rest of the Starks want anything to do with you. You kind of like ruined a lot for them. So I think this Theon should just stay in the south just to be safe. As far as Theon killing Euron, I really hope that Cersei is the one to kill Euron, because I can't forget about the scene, and I didn't mention this in my review for some stupid reason, but I loved when Cersei basically said, when she says to Euron, she looks at him with that look, and she says, "You shall have all your heart desires." So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that means that she's gonna fuck you, Euron. I think that means she's gonna kill you in some fucked up way. Like, I don't. So, I don't think Euron is safe from Cersei, and I don't think Cersei's safe from Euron. Like, I'm kind of like back and forth, like who is going to kill the other. I feel like one of them is gonna kill the other. And what I think would be really funny is if they both like set up traps for each other and they end up killing each other at the same time. Let's say Euron poisons. I mean, Cersei poisons Euron, and then Euron has something done to Cersei, and then they just both die. I think that would be totally hilarious. Like I don't care. But yeah, but in the show, it just seems like Euron is such an idiot because like when Cersei says that to him, he kind of has this like dumb look, like, "Oh, I'm gonna have sex with the queen," la la la. And I'm like, dude, do you really think that Cersei Lannister is going to marry you? Look, let me tell you something about Cersei Lannister. Cersei Lannister is not getting married again. Cersei Lannister is not getting married again. Cersei Lannister married Robert Baratheon, and like he broke her heart, and she's not getting married again. Like, especially not to Euron Greyjoy. Come on now, Euron's nuts if he thinks that Cersei's gonna marry him. Do you think Littlefinger could be working for the Great Other? I'm thinking yes in the books and maybe at best in the show. See, I didn't think that at first, but then what totally weirded me out about that Littlefinger scene with Sansa is what he said was eerily similar to what Bran said to her right after that. He was like, see everything as if it's already happened. That way you can never be surprised. And then Bran comes in and he's like, I've seen everything. And Bran totally can't be surprised by anything. He's never surprised by anything. And I know I always talk about Dune, but this is so Dune to me. The Kwisatz Haderach, the one that can be in many places at once. He literally sees all possible futures, so he's never surprised by anything. And that's one of the dilemmas in the books is that he's always bored. And I think that Bran largely was based off Paul Atreides from the Dune series. So I used to not give any credence to that idea that Littlefinger was somehow in league with the White Walkers or possessed by like some kind of greater force. But after that single line and that way he looks, that way he kind of smirks when Bran shows up, like he's not even surprised. He's literally not even surprised that Bran is back, and it was weird. It's very weird. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people are saying that Bran is Leto. Yeah, Bran, you can look at him as Leto or Paul. Uh, yeah, he's late. Yeah, because like Leto does make the ultimate sacrifice in the end. He gives up his humanity to become something greater, which is what Bran did essentially. He gave up. He had to make a gigantic sacrifice for that power. So very similar. What happened to Edmure after Arya killed the Freys? So that's a question that'll never be answered. No one knows. Like literally, no one knows. We have no information on Edmure whatsoever at this point, and it's nuts. We have no information on Edmure. But the Dune thing. But the Dune thing is that George R. Martin always subverts the tropes. Who do Leto equals Bran in the books? I don't. I Can you please rephrase that question? I'm not sure what you mean. Q&A. Cersei is playing Euron, and vice versa. When he said the most beautiful woman, perhaps he means Dany. Um, True. Like a friend of mine actually said that when we were watching the episode together. Like, actually, is the great other the Night King and R'hllor the Bride of Fire? Do you mean in the books or show? Like, I think in the show, the Night King is the physical stand-in for the Great Other. As far as R'hllor, I don't think there is a physical being that's gonna be R'hllor. Um, okay. Look at some more questions. Let's look at some more questions from the YouTube channel, from the channel Manor. Okay. Olenna killed it. But I have to say, I'm disappointed she didn't say Littlefinger in that speech. That would have been glorious. Yeah, it's interesting that Lady Olenna did not reveal that Littlefinger was a part of the plot to kill Joffrey. But I loved that scene. I thought it was very well acted. Lady Olenna will be sorely missed. I'll never forget. I'm pretty sure, what book was it that she shows up in? I'm pretty sure it's either Clash or Storm of Swords that Lady Olenna first shows up in, and she's at this dinner party with Sansa, and she's so hilarious that I'm just like, I love this character. I was literally cracking up reading those chapters, and yeah, she got the last, but honestly, she did get her final words. but I feel like still Cersei got the last laugh kind of in the end because Cersei succeeded in completely eradicating House Tyrell. Like Cersei got what she wanted ultimately. We'll see how that works out for her in the future. Um, how will Arya's story end in the book? I tend to kind of lean more towards um, the Alt Shift X explanation. He did a really good video on Arya one time where he says that she might die and inhabit Nymeria and just be the leader of the wolf pack. I think there's someone cutting the grass outside of my window, and it's really annoying. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I admit I don't think George R. Martin will do the chosen one narrative as we expected. I don't think so either, but I still think there are certain things that need to happen. How old is Lady Olenna in the books? I don't think it's ever said exactly how old she is, but she is very old. Um, Thanks, guys. I'll be okay. Let's talk Thrones. What's going on in my comment section right now? Okay, let me get back to the YouTube questions. Let me look away from the chat. You guys are crazy. Looking away from the chat now. Going back to the YouTube comments. Let's see. Do you think Mel is going to Volantis to get supporters for R'hllor and Gendry, who might be a blacksmith over there? Ooh. So you think Gendry might be in Volantis? So that'd be an interesting twist because we know where Gendry is in the book. Gendry is serving Stoneheart in the books, so that's completely different. There's so much that's changed from book to show that I remember like very early on from like season one, George R. Martin was giving an interview and he's talking about how like them changing little things will lead to much larger changes later on, and he called it the butterfly effect. And he's absolutely right. There's so much tiny stuff that's been altered here and there that so much has to change and be cut and be reworked. Um, I think it's interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see Gendry and Volantis. Gendry, the one true king. I think that in the show, at least, that Gendry might be. Gendry might actually be Cersei's son. Like I'm totally down with the theory that Gendry is Cersei's son because if Gendry is Cersei's son, if Gendry is that baby that Cersei said died that she had with Robert, that makes Gendry not a bastard. You know what that makes Gendry? That makes Gendry heir to the Seven Kingdoms. I mean, until like Daenerys comes in and is like, "Fuck you, get off my throne." But I don't even know if they're gonna explore that any further or not. But I feel like that is kind of an awesome theory that could totally work. I feel like that theory as Gendry being the king totally works. Okay. Let's see. Who rules Dorne now? Is it possible that Grayscale is dormant in Jorah now via emphasized handshake? Sam has it. Does it seem like the show is setting up Melisandre? Oh, a Missandei betrayal. Has Tyrion sworn off whores? So there's a lot of questions. Who rules Dorne now? There are other great houses in Dorne that have never been mentioned in the show. So one of them probably. And you know what's even dumber about this stupid fucking Dorne plot is that there's no way that the great houses just accept the Sand Snakes killing off Doran and killing off the prince and just ruling Dorne. There's no way that that was just so easily accepted. So that's ridiculous. So whoever's ruling Dorne is probably one of the other great houses. So it looks like I've got about 500 people watching this right now. If you're watching, throw in a like, please. It helps a lot. Please just thumbs up this video. Do it now. Do it now. I'm not answering any more questions, so everyone thumbs up the video. No. But seriously, smash that like button. Smash it. Smash it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Okay, there we go. So, is it possible that Grayscale is dormant in Jorah? I think so. I think so. And they did put emphasis on that handshake. It's like, that's a little weird. Like, this show is not necessarily, like, in recent years, the show has not been, necessarily known for its subtlety. So, like, I'm like, Yeah, like I'm like you probably shouldn't shake his hand, especially if he's just been cured last night. Why are you shaking his hand? So yeah, like I kind of think that it could still be dormant in Jorah, and that Jorah is just like a ticking time bomb that is like and is more of a problem than anything and should be sent away to Valyria. Yeah, give me thumbs. Literally chop off your thumbs and mail them to me. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. I would not enjoy it. Okay. Does the show seem okay? Does it seem like the show is setting up a Missandei betrayal? Now, I don't know how many of you guys have been following me for a long time, but if you have, then you know that I used to do videos like on just like this crappy webcam. And most of those videos are deleted now because I didn't want like that kind of subpar content on my channel. And some of those topics I have brought up in like newer videos that have been remastered. But long time ago, I was watching the deleted scenes for Game of Thrones season 4, and Danny and Missandei are on top of one of the great pyramids of Marine, and Daenerys looks over at Missandei and she says to Missandei, "Don't ever betray me." And it totally parallels Ygritte to Jon Snow. Ygritte said to Jon Snow, "Don't ever betray me." The same exact way. What did Jon Snow do to Ygritte? He betrayed her. And from that little thing, I devised a small little theory that the show was dropping hints that sometime in the future, Missandei would betray Daenerys. And that video was entitled "Missandei Will Betray Daenerys." So I feel like that has been set up potentially for several seasons at this point. And I would not be surprised at all if Missandei was the leak in the crack. And I would not be surprised if Missandei was the one that tipped off Euron. I mean, I don't exactly know what her agenda would be, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I don't think Missandei is gonna betray Daenerys in the book, but in the show, I mean, I feel like they're Ygritte also said, "I'm the queen of Shadi Ladi La Land." Uh, oh, Ygritte, I miss those early season characters. I mean, I was watching early Game of Thrones. I'm just like, I miss so many of these characters. I miss Stannis. Like, even though he was a, even though I really don't like him, I miss Stannis. I miss Renly. I even miss Marjorie. Even though I, even though I always talk trash about her, I miss Marjorie. I miss all my early characters. They're all so gone. The cast is so different now. Okay, more Q&A. Since Bran knows everything now, does he know he's part of a fictional story? Therefore, we try to war against George R. Martin D and need to change the plot in his favor. So that would be a twist. That would be an awesome twist. I would like to see Bran do that. Change, Bran. Change. Change it, Bran. You can fix it. Okay, guys. No spoilers. No spoilers. We did talk about the leaks earlier, but like I said, if you want to talk about the leaks, please only discuss the first 3 episodes and what those leaks said. I don't want anybody to be spoiled for the future of the show that doesn't want to be spoiled. Okay. Will Jon die because of the White Walker battle? I don't think Jon is dying anytime soon because he just died. So I feel like Jon, for the most part, is probably safe this season. Do you think that the White Walkers will turn out to be the saviors and Daenerys the villain? So this is a theory that everybody has nowadays. And I remember it used to be like an obscure thing on the internet. People were saying that. I don't think so. I don't think that I don't think that there are heroes versus villains. I think that the White Walkers definitely have an agenda that we haven't seen yet, and it remains to be seen whether or not that agenda will be explored within the television show. But definitely in the books, Martin has said multiple times at this point that more about the nature of the White Walkers will be revealed in the Winds of Winter. So hopefully in the Winds of Winter we'll get like maybe some kind of point of view from the Land of Always Winter where the White Walkers are, because there's no way that the White Walkers are just like, rah, 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 we're evil, we're just killing everybody because this is what we do, rah, rah, rah. They're not orcs. George R. R. Martin, look, To be honest, George R. Martin always throws shade. He like, look, I know people don't see this, but I feel like George R. Martin constantly throws shade at J.K. Rowling. He always, because he never mentions her, but he's always throwing shade. He's like, I hate it when like the bad guys are all dressed up in black and the good guy and are ugly and stuff, and the good guys are all like nice and clean and neat. And he says he really despises that trope where like the bad guys are like ugly and evil just for no reason and they're just like doing bad stuff. So I don't think there's any villain or good guy. The Winds of Winter is a myth. It just got postponed again. Well, not postponed, but like I know a lot of us were hoping that it would be done this year, and he's saying that there's several months. I mean, it still could get done this year, but he said that there are several months of work left to do, and which is fine. Like I said, I just hit my microphone. Sorry. Like I said, with Star Trek Discovery being postponed 9 months at this point, I'd rather it be postponed. I'd rather it be postponed than they release shit. I rather, and I was hoping that this season took so long to be made that I was like, this is gonna be a good season. They're putting all this money into every episode, and it's taking all this extra time. It better be really good. But no, it probably just took, the sad reality of it that I'm just coming to realize, the sad truth about this season being postponed. It was probably postponed because those freaking hacks, David and Dan, were using the time to work on their stupid freaking Confederate show that nobody's gonna watch. There, I said it. Like, okay, if you're not gonna watch the Confederate show, like, okay, who? Let's take a poll right now. Do you have any interest whatsoever in David and Dan's new HBO Confederate show? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see who cares about this show. Do you care? Do you care? Because I don't care at all. I have no interest in seeing a show about the Confederacy that David and Dan are writing and directing. Like, does anyone care about that? Does anyone? Does anyone? Literally anyone. Like, if you care, let me know. Because, like, I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care. I mean, let's get to some more of these questions. It's some crappy show that they're doing about the Civil War in the United States. Like who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Look at the chat going nuts. Yeah, no one cares. No one cares, David and Dan. Game of Thrones was your thing, and you're gonna fade right back into obscurity after this show. I mean, you've made your money. You fucked with the wrong fandom because yeah, yeah. No one cares. Obama cares apparently. Oh God. Let's get to some more of these questions. Let's see. Do you think that Maester Wolken is a fake? He has an impressive Maester's chain, but he doesn't know how long was the longest winter. This seems like it should be common knowledge from Maesters, particularly since it is the Maesters who declare seasons. He also came from the Boltons who are in league with the Lannisters. A plant, maybe? Is that Brienne cutting off his head? I haven't even thought about Maester Wolken at all. I believe that's the Maester that's hanging out at Winterfell right now. Hmm. Very interesting. I don't know. They gonna be. I have no idea. I don't even know how to answer that. If he is from, if he is because the thing about Maesters is that most of the time they're not really loyal to a house. I mean, there are exceptions like Pycelle and of course Maester Lewin, but in general, Maesters are supposed to be like above the being loyal to certain houses. But if he is a fake Maester, interesting. He could just be a stupid Maester. He could just be dumb. He could just be a bad Maester. I mean, I'm sure those exist in places. Okay, here's another comment. Let's see what this person says. So you were very critical about the leaks, saying nothing makes sense. It's too much like bad fan fiction. It's now obvious that it's all real and everything described in the leaks have been featured in the episode so far. How do you reconcile this? You gave this episode a 9 out of 10, yet only a few months ago you were calling the same material bad fan fiction. Dude, no, I don't know what you're talking about because like most of the stuff that like especially episode 3 only had like 3 tiers, And most of the stuff that I liked and disliked in this episode wasn't even in the leak. Like what was in that? I don't even. I've forgotten already what was in the leak. What did it actually say in episode 3? I'm gonna go look again so I can answer this question properly. Okay. John and Davos arrive at Dragonstone. I did. What did I say? I didn't say anything bad about that. I was just like, meh. They arrive at Dragonstone. There's nothing to criticize about that. Tyrion brings him to meet Dany and Grey Worm in the throne room. Again, there's nothing to criticize about that. Jon and Dany meet. She demands he bends the knee. Evidently, he discusses the White Walkers, but she doesn't believe him. Again, there's nothing to criticize about that. Davos tries to mention Jon's resurrection, but Jon dismisses it. Nothing to criticize. Nothing to criticize. Nothing to criticize. So see, this is my thing. Like people are always saying that I'm being like a bitch and like being like and being an arrogant asshole, but like I didn't criticize any of that. I didn't criticize any of those leaks for season for episode 3. All I said was, oh, it seems da 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 da. So I don't know what you're talking about. The stuff that I criticized was the bad shit. And I guarantee you, when that stuff happens in the show, I'll have the same exact problems with it that I had in the leaked. Pay more attention. Pay more attention. Don't impress your own feelings onto me. Like I say what I'm thinking. Okay, it looks like I got an awesome super chat. Thank you so much. Ooh, Canadian dollars. Awesome. I like Canadian dollars. I love your work. Thank you. The prophecy did not say the younger, more beautiful queen would succeed in taking everything from Cersei. I think Dany dies, and we will still have Cersei on the throne. Thoughts? I'm pretty sure the prophecy said a younger, more beautiful queen will cast you down and take everything you hold dear. So I'm pretty sure that is saying that the younger, more beautiful queen will succeed. If she's casting her down and taking everything that she holds dear, and then it goes on to say, when your tears have drowned you, so like she's like obviously distraught from all this, then the Valonqar will choke the life from you. So I imagine Daenerys has got Cersei like chained up somewhere, and then I don't know, someone walks out, someone that she's fucked over, maybe Jaime, maybe Euron, and she's like, help, maybe this person's gonna help me, and instead of helping, he just just chokes her to death. So I'm pretty sure that it is the Valonqar. Dude, you're an idiot. Yeah, I'm an idiot sometimes. I am an idiot sometimes. Let's see. Afternoon, so you think, oh, no, 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 no. Guys, no, 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 no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers. We're only talking about the first 3 episodes. First three. First 3, guys. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let's see what else we got. We're going to go on this live stream for about 20 to 30 more minutes. Bran is detached because he is beyond petty emotions. He is one with the realm, connected to everything past and present. There is no room, singular feelings when you're the most powerful empath in the world. I guess so. Let's see. One thing my wife has wanted me to ask you is, how do you feel about the way the show portrays Jaime Lannister? We really feel like it's not doing him justice, like the show still has him too complacent to Cersei shenanigans. Yeah, I absolutely agree with your assessment of Jaime Lannister, because in the books at this point in the show, like Jaime is pretty much like, screw her. Like I don't want anything to do with Cersei Lannister after basically pretty much after book 3. Jaime Lannister doesn't want anything to do with Cersei because Tyrion basically spills the tea on Cersei and is like, you know what, Jaime, Cersei's been cheating on you this entire time. She's probably even banging Moon Boy, who is like this kind of mentally disabled stable boy. So Jaime just like, he thinks of that over and over and over again. And, you know, Cersei is the only woman that Jaime Lannister has ever been with. literally the only woman, and she's been with tons of people. She's been with women, men. Like Cersei uses sex as a means of getting what she wants, and she says that from the very beginning. With like, if you remember from Blackwater, in the episode with Sansa, she tells Sansa the best tool that you have is between your legs. Q&A. So I thought Varys was safe, but they hardcore said he would die before the show ends. That shocked me. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to doubt Melisandre's prophecy. She seems to know that she's gonna die as well, which is very interesting. I wonder what will be the manner of Melisandre's death. I have said before that I believe that Melisandre will probably end up sacrificing herself for some other purpose, because I'm pretty sure her blood has to be extremely potent. It's full of fire, right? Would you F Cersei? You mean Cersei or Lena Headey? Because those are two very different people. Those are two very different people. As far as Lena Headey, I think she's beautiful. She's got a great body. I mean, she's very beautiful. Um, uh, let's see. Will John and Danny find dragon eggs embedded in the dragon glass cache? I don't think so. I don't think so. Um, that'd be interesting though. I don't see any more dragons showing up in the show. What do you think of them dedicating 10 minutes to the fall of two castles? Yeah, it was very rushed. It was very rushed. I wish they would see. It's slow on parts that should be sped up, and it's too fast on parts that should be slower. And expect like with the Castle of the Rock thing, especially, I thought that scene was a little weird because you have like them showing what they would do at first and then showing what they actually did. So it was confusing to me, like what's actually happening and what's not happening. And I felt like they wasted a lot of money and time on that first part of the scene where they're showing what's not actually happening. I felt like I could have totally done without that. I thought Tyrion's speech was. Oh, I know people love Tyrion, but I'm just gonna say it. I thought that speech voiceover thing that he did was really cringy. I didn't enjoy it. I thought that was beneath Game of Thrones. I feel like that's very weak storytelling. Um, I didn't like it. Um, and the Tyrell battle at Highgarden, you don't even see it. They gloss right over it. You don't even see it. You don't even see the battle, which is it reminds me of season one where they would just skip over battles. But in season one, they had an excuse. Season one and two, they had excuses for doing stuff like that because it was a budgetary issue. Now they've got more money than they've ever had. There's only 7 episodes. Like there's really no excuse for like just glossing over the battles like this at this point. I don't think so, at least. D&D probably think that politics are boring, so they focus on the romances. Oh, okay, I wonder what that says for their new Confederate show. If they think, oh my God, I swear to God, if there is a slave master romance in that Confederate show, the internet will lose their shit. I can see it now. I can see it now. The slave falls in love with the master, and like, oh my God. That's the end. It'd be the end. It'd be the end of David and Dan, and it would just be beautiful. It'd be beautiful to see the internet just rip them to pieces. I'd get on Twitter, get my popcorn, and I'd just be like, just eating up the popcorn, just delicious, delicious popcorn. D&D are saving the big battle for episode 6 with the White Walkers, in my honest opinion. Well, maybe they are, and it better be good. That's all I can say. Okay, got another super chat. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much, Craig DeLulo. I'm so bad at names. Love your channel. You tell it like it is. Fuck the haters and trolls. Marry, fuck, kill. Old Mel, Lady Mormont. That died for Rob and Brienne, the beauty. Um, okay, I get what you're saying. You'd marry old Mel. You'd fuck Lady Mormont that died for Rob. Okay, yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. And you're not. He's not talking about the little girl, Lady Mormont. And then he'd kill Brienne the Beauty. Why'd you kill Brienne? I mean, I like Brienne. I think Brienne's cool. I mean, just because she killed Stannis, I mean, Stannis had it coming. Stannis had it coming. I mean, that was Brienne's oath. She swore to protect Renly. Renly was her king, and Stannis murdered Renly through blood magic. And Brienne is Brienne is the closest thing to a real knight, to what a knight is really supposed to be in this entire story. Brienne is the closest thing to that. There's no one with more honor than Brienne. There's no one. I love Brienne. I love Brienne's chapters in A Feast for Crows. And honestly, I still like Brienne in the show. I mean, she hasn't done much this season, but previously in the show, I've liked her a lot. Um, let's see. Oh, you're asking who I'd marry, fuck, or kill. Oh, let's see. I'd kill. Well, who would I kill? Let's think. Who needs to die? Who needs to die? I'd kill Littlefinger. Um, does it have to be a living character? I'd marry. Who? I'm trying to think who wouldn't annoy me because I'm saying that I'd never get married. I'd marry. Who to marry? Who to marry? Someone that I don't want to. Someone that I just cannot be around. If it was a sham marriage, if it was a sham marriage, I'd marry Jon Snow so that I could just hang out in the north and just like and then we wouldn't be doing anything because I'm pretty sure Jon Snow's straight, so it'd just be a sham. Like our house would be together, and I'd get to have all the power and be like one of the lords of Winterfell. That'd be cool. And as far as bang, oh, there's a lot of people that are bangable. Masande is super bangable. Uh, Masande is very bangable. Daenerys is extremely bangable. Cersei is very bangable. Uh, Jon Snow is very bangable, obviously. Rob Stark's hot. Yeah, Rob Stark's definitely hot. A lot of bangable characters. A lot of bangable. But Rob Stark's dead, though, so. Who else? Like, there's a lot of bangable characters in this show. But yeah. This is embarrassing. Will you be doing more Dune videos eventually? Eventually. What's embarrassing? You'd marry Brienne. I mean, yeah, Brienne would be cool to marry, I guess, but she doesn't really have anything. Doesn't have any power. I want to marry someone that's gonna give me. Sansa's totally bangable, but I feel like she's annoying. I feel like Sansa's really annoying. Sansa's. I mean, yeah, yeah. And as far as marrying Brienne, I want someone with power. I want someone that can give me riches and wealth. And if I married Cersei, I feel like Cersei would try and kill me. Cersei would try and kill me, so like I wouldn't want to marry Cersei. What does the Night King really want? I mean, it's up for a debate. Who knows? Like I said, I've had the idea for a long time that a long time ago there was a treaty between mankind and the White Walkers. The treaty was broken, and now the White Walkers are marching on the South because something was broken in the treaty. Bad Pussy, isn't she dead now, or at least dying? Yeah, I agree. The Feast for Crows chapters are great. Oh, it's out of the three that it gave me, and I was just naming regular characters. Well, as far okay, let me look at it again. Like as far as Brienne from Brienne, Cersei, and Old Mill. Let's see. I'd bang Cersei. Um, marry Old Melisandre because she's gonna die soon, and kill Brienne. There we go. There we go. There we go. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that answers your question. Will the plot ever be tied up? The Riverlands Gendry, will Theon continue good development or just die for no reason? I feel like a lot of the plot in Game of Thrones, the show, will not be tied up. I feel like a lot of it will be left hanging. I feel like a lot of it will be left hanging. Do you think Bran will even be an actual character anymore? Will he just be a plot device, exposition, regurgitator? I mean, that seems like where he's going at this point in time. Like he's not even at this point. Can you even call him Bran anymore? It's not even Bran. He's just like I'm super enlightened and I know everything and I'm just gonna speak really cryptically. And then the thing is, okay, I didn't even say this in my review, but I thought it was super funny that Bran and Sansa scene where Bran is like, "You won't understand," and he keeps describing it to her in the most cryptic way possible. I'm like, you're not even trying to explain it to her. You're just like, "You won't understand." I'm like, try, like at least try. I swear to God, I could have explained what was going on easier than Bran did. Like Bran was not trying to explain it. I'm like, what? Come on, Bran, you're not even trying. Not even trying. What do you think we'll see Gendry? I actually liked what someone else said earlier that Gendry might show up in Volantis. I think that'd be really cool. Will the show kill off Sansa? She is nothing like her book counterpart. Oh God, where'd that go? Too polite and not telling people um, know what she's thinking. Um, I think eventually the show will kill off Sansa. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they are going to kill off Sansa. Thanks for the super chat, Chris O'Keefe. As far as the show killing off Sansa, at this point, I don't see it. I don't see them killing off Sansa. I feel like they really liked that actress. I feel like they like the actress, and I feel like if she dies, it's gonna be next season. I had the thought that she might die this season early on, but now at this point, I'm pretty much thinking that if Sansa does die, it's gonna be next season, not this season. You like the Rogue Warlord says I like the show better, to be honest. It's just a matter of opinion, I guess. Uh, you can like what you want, but as far as I'm concerned, the books have so much depth. It's like a completely different experience. Like picking up those books is like you're transported into an entirely unique and different world. And with Game of Thrones, I just feel like a lot of that character and a lot of the beauty of what Martin created is lost. I feel like a lot was compromised to move it to television. And that's just my opinion, but people can like whatever they want. It's totally fine. I kind of hope Littlefinger survives, though. I don't. I want him to die. Sneaky little bastard. Yeah, the books have so much backstory. I just feel like it's. What's my prediction for the end of A Song of Ice and Fire? It's too much. Too much for the time that we got in this live stream. So much. So much. And honestly, you're gonna have to wait on that one because we've got videos coming up later on that talk about that very thing. I like the books because they're wholesome and I'm a good Christian woman. Yeah, but like if you're a good Christian woman, then A Song of Ice and Fire is for you. A Song of Ice and Fire is for you. Where is Ghost? I mean I'm he's got to be at Winterfell, right? But they're not showing him. They're just like they're not showing him at all. Do you agree that Danny in the show is boring and title and has zero personality, mainly since departing from the books? I feel like Danny has slowly grown more and more one dimensional over time in the show. And I think that's true for a lot of characters in the show. They've grown more one dimensional. Oh, thank you for your super chat, Dre the Thinker. Uh, GOT feels like fanfic and not an adaptation. Well, at this point, it is largely fan fiction. They've taken it completely off the rails at this point. They've changed so much. I feel like if Game of Thrones had come off the bat being as different from the books as it is now, it would have never gotten off the ground. It wouldn't have had that initial fan support because you can't change because you don't piss off the fan base. Now, I feel like they've kind of abandoned the original audience and it's more pushed towards a wider audience since at this point it is the most popular show in the world. They're marketing it towards, just everyday people that don't necessarily understand all the nuances, that don't necessarily understand or care about all the nuances. I can't even say it. All the nuances of the books, and they don't really care. So that's, yeah. It's gotten very fan fictiony. Can't wait to see Hodor as a white. I don't want to see that. No, not my Hodor. Do you think Cersei raped Jamie? He said no. Jamie wanted it. Jamie wanted it. Come on. Danny is being so cocky, it's irritating. But I might be cocky if I walked out of fire with three dragons. LOL. See, yeah, like I said, she is very cocky. She is. She kind of has a point. Like, I mean, she survived a fire that should have killed her, and she's got dragons, and she's done all this conquering in a short amount of time. Like, I mean, is she necessarily wrong for thinking I am the shit? I mean, who wouldn't be like I am the shit? But then the thing is, like, when it is true that a lot of times when people start to believe their own hype, that's usually when they get screwed over. Like, you can't buy into your own hype. That's what messes you up. Okay, so there's like 500 people watching me now. Throw me a like if you haven't. Throw me a like if you haven't. Yeah. 500 people, I should have 500 likes. Nah, just kidding. But if you want to like it. In the books, the walkers have a language like cracking ice. Yes, I believe. I don't think Martin named it, but they named it Skrill or something like that, and it's basically the sound of cracking ice. It's nature sound, but it's all like ice related. And to me, it's very similar to like the Children of the Forest language because their language is said to sound like the flowing of rivers, the rustling of trees. It sounds like the sounds of nature. So like that was really what initially what got me thinking when I compared their languages and the way they're described. Like that's what initially got me thinking that the Children of the Forest were in some way related to the White Walkers. I'm like, that's kind of extremely similar. Uh, the White Walkers are like frozen versions of the Children of the Forest. And in fact, George R. R. Martin literally describes the Children of the Forest. No, well, he describes the others as frozen she, and the she are the legendary figures that the Children of the Forest are based off of. So George R. R. Martin essentially describes the others as frozen children of the forest. Do you think The Winds of Winter and Dream of Spring will come out at the same time and George R. R. Martin wants it to come out before the end of the show? I don't think so. I think George R. R. Martin is just taking his time, and when The Winds is released, he'll post on his blog that it's out, and that'll just be it. George R. R. Martin typically doesn't play games when it comes to releasing stuff. I can still remember when A Dance with Dragons was announced. One random day, he literally posted on his blog. He said the end is near, and he talked about the book, and he was like, it's almost out. And he said I'm almost done with it, and I feel like something similar will happen when The Winds of Winter comes out. Another super chat. Thank you so much, Sophie O'Connell. You're awesome. You're awesome. No more Dune videos. Definitely more Dune videos. Keep see, the thing about Dune is that I want to make sure I fully understand every little thing about Dune before I make another video because I'm reviewing all 6 of Frank Herbert's novels at the same time. So I want to make sure I got everything down. I want to make sure I understand the intricacies of Leto's Golden Path. I want to make sure I understand what the Bene Gesserit are doing in Chapter House and in Heretics. I want to make sure I understand the nature of the Jihad and Paul Atreides' rule, and I just got to make sure I got everything. If you don't know what Dune is an epic, awesome sci-fi book series, and George R. R. Martin has also taken certain things from Dune. It's from the 1960s. It is probably the best science fiction novel ever written. It takes place 21,000 years in the future. Humans have banned thinking machines. There are no computers. There are no calculators. Comic Book Girl 19 right now is doing a Dune Club, which is, if you don't know about Comic Book Girl 19, oh my God, you're nuts. Go watch Comic Book Girl 19 right now. But yeah, she's doing a Dune Club, so if you want to get into it, she has really good videos. I also have a video on Dune, and I also have a video on the Bene Gesserit of Dune, which are like this order of like super powerful females, and they're really badass. So watch that video if you want to find out more about them. Now that Jorah is saved, will they use him to ex machina Danny out of a tough situation soon or next episode? That seems like where they're setting it up. But I also can see them setting up Jorah spreading grayscale. But yeah, Jorah is definitely going to go save Danny, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, you healed yourself like I commanded you to." Ha ha ha. Yeah, lame. It's lame. Like I cringed last season with fucking Daenerys. I command you to heal yourself. Oh, come on. That's so fucking corny. That's the corniest shit. I feel like Danny has some of the corniest lines. And you know, they think about this shit. Like that shall be begin. That shall we begin. Ugh, cringe. And you know, that was in the leak. That shall we begin line was in the leak. And so they had that plan from the very beginning. And no one even thought, oh, you think this is kind of cringy? No one even thought, oh, maybe this is kind of cringy. No. And then she got paid like $2 million. She got paid for $2 million with for that line apparently. Let's say D&D is in charge of Dune show. Oh, I'd riot. I'd literally riot. I'd cry. I'd cry. Like first I'd cry, and then I'd riot and I'd rant to no end because I know they'd ruin it. I absolutely know they. If they ruined A Song of Ice and Fire, they'd ruin Dune. So let me tell you this: I love A Song of Ice and Fire, but Dune is like it's like the most realized world that I've ever read, and like it's like it'll make you think differently. Like reading Dune will change you. Like I'm not even over exaggerating. Reading Dune, that shit will change you. Like it'll make you think differently. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much shaded Emilia Clarke. I feel like her acting could be better at times. You know, I'm no actor, so I'm not saying that I could do better, but I'm just saying like sometimes she makes me cringe. Sometimes she makes me cringe. I mean, what is it? Q&A. Thoughts on the red door? Is Danny planted with false memories? Hmm. Never heard anyone really say that before. I don't think it's a false memory. I think it's a real memory. I think she remembers the red door, and I think that's where she really. That's just she just has that sense of nostalgia that this is a simpler time. This is a much simpler time, and when she was most free and most happy. Because although Danny is in this like amazing position of power and she's got like all this stuff, like she's arguably the least free that she's ever been. Like because like she has to conquer. Like she can't just like be like, nope, I'm just changing my mind at this point. She has to continue. Oh, I mean, but honestly, she could just fly away. Like if I was Danny, um, I wouldn't have went to Westeros. I would have been like, you know what? I don't need Westeros. Westeros is in complete turmoil. I would have flown somewhere in the east. I would have started my own city and just built my own kingdom from the ground up. Started like just change things over there. Like screw Westeros, leave them to their own devices. Let them destroy each other. If I was Danny, that's what I would have done. I would have been like, fuck it. Am I excited for the new It movie? Meh, meh, meh. See, like I'm a book puritist to everything. I'm such an asshole, I know. But you can't do it. I mean, you can't do it. From that trailer, people don't know. That's the thing. People don't know the real story of it, and people just think that it's about this an evil clown that kills kids, and that's so just barely the surface of what is going on in this book. And watching that trailer, it just looks like boo, scary clown, boo, scary clown, and I'm just like, I'm not here for it. And then the Dark Tower series, which is also in the same universe as the It book, like all of Stephen King's novels are in the same universe. That also just looks mad to me. And Stephen King has said that the movies are good, but then also Stephen King is getting paid So like I can't really trust what he's saying. Uh, the Emoji Movie is better than Game of Thrones. I don't know about that now. I don't know about that. I've heard some things about the Emoji Movie. Um, why is the color blue associated with Dany? She wears blue in the TV show and dreams about a blue winter rose. Well, the blue rose is Lyanna Stark. The blue rose is Lyanna Stark. It represents Lyanna Stark. And about her wearing blue, I'm not sure about the wearing blue. I think it's just maybe blue just suits Emilia Clarke. I feel like a lot of people wear black now. Everyone's wearing black. Cersei's wearing black. Dany's wearing black. Jon Snow's always been in black. I think Dany is the daughter of a Lysini prostitute, and George R. R. Martin just trolled us all. You mean you? Okay, so like, so baby Dany like died somewhere on the way to Essos, and Viserys just found some little girl, and he's like, "This is my sister." I'm just saying she's my sister. Wouldn't that be effed up? Wouldn't that be effed up? She's like, if in the end, she's like, "Wait, I'm not Daenerys Targaryen." That'd be crazy. That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts. And especially if that's true, and then we go back and we realize that Martin has been dropping hints this entire time, I'd lose it. I'd lose it. Do you think Jon will give Longclaw to Jorah since it's his family sword? I don't think Jon should give Longclaw to Jorah. Longclaw has been recarved. It's now a wolf instead of a bear on the hilt. Giora gave it to Jon. It wouldn't be right of Jon to give it away, even though Jorah is Gior's son. It wouldn't be right. We're gonna go for a little bit longer. Then we gotta go, guys. Then we gotta go. Make sure you like this video if you haven't already. Sorry I'm asking so much, but really, you have no idea how much the likes really help out the channel, as far as visibility and stuff like that. Waiting for you guys to ask me some more questions in the chat. I'm looking. Tyrion was much more witty and interesting character in the first few seasons. Absolutely. That's because in the first few seasons, he's based on Tyrion from the books. And David and Dan, let's just face it, they're not as smart as George R. R. Martin. They don't know how to they can't come up with dialogue or wit that's as good as what George R. R. Martin comes up with. They just can't. They're not as good as he is. I have a sickening. Okay, here's a Q&A. Is it possible the Children of the Forest pack with the First Men, not only for peace, but to fight the White Walkers after they can't control the monster they created? Make a pact with. Okay. I assume you're referring to in the past. I feel like that probably is somewhere on the lines of what happened. That but like, oh, from what we know, the story goes like this: Children of the Forest, Battle of the First Men, make a pact. A couple thousand years later, the White Walkers come. Children of the Forest are nowhere to be found. When humanity is at its most desperate, when they're just about to lose, the Children of the Forest show up again, and they help, and they fight the White Walkers back. So obviously, the Children of the Forest had tools against the others that worked pretty well because like mankind was losing, and suddenly as soon as the children are involved, they're winning again. So you know, so definitely the Children of the Forest were involved. As far as the pact, I don't know if there was a pact at that point in history. I feel like it was more like the children were like, okay, this thing that we created is not only screwing over humanity, it's screwing over all of us. So let's just work together and solve this problem. Jon is getting a sword better than Longclaw. You think Dawn is actually showing up in the books? I mean in the show. I mean, they do mention it in season 2. But a lot was going on in the earlier seasons that's not going to come to fruition. So I don't know. Because Melisandre does talk about Lightbringer and the sword very early on, but it hasn't been mentioned since. That doesn't mean that it's not going to show up. It could be hidden in the crypts. Probably is hidden in the crypts of Winterfell. It remains to be seen. But, okay, if Jon Snow does get Dawn, then probably Longclaw will go to Jorah. Okay, there you go. If they show Lyanna and Rhaegar, will they show Elia Martell? Probably not. Probably not. Q&A, I'm worried that a lot of the hints made in earlier seasons will not be used. Maybe to hide things in the upcoming books or to please fans. What do you think? Yeah, I think that a lot of it is just not going to be used because they're streamlining everything. They're cutting everything and they piss me off with their bullshit. David and Dan, you guys don't even know, man. Like, not only have I been watching this show since the very beginning, I was reading these books long before, and I was following this show so meticulously in the very beginning, and these motherfuckers pissed me off so much because in the beginning they're all like, "Yeah, we're gonna tell George R. R. Martin's story. We are so confident that we can transport this story to the small screen." Da da da, and then fast forward like 4 seasons. Yeah, we can make changes. Yeah, we're starting to diverge more and more from the books. Yeah, and we're making changes. Like, why? Why the fuck are you doing this? And the initial thing was we're gonna split season three into we're gonna split book three into 2 seasons. They didn't do that. They went back on that. They go back on so much stuff, and it's just I don't like it. I'm unsubbing just in case. Just in case of what? Who's the biggest power bottom in Westeros? I don't know. Why would Dawn be hidden in the crypts of Winterfell? I feel like that's the logical place. Jon Snow constantly dreams of the crypts in the books. That sword disappeared after after the Tower of Joy, and that's also where Lyanna Stark is buried. Put two and two together. Where's the sword? Feel like it's in the crypts. Like if Jon Snow is truly the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen, then I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it's in the crypts. I feel like that's where it's been hinted. I feel like it's been hinted to be in the crypts. Because I feel like I mean, it definitely in the show. Because like, where else would it be in the show? It's like there's no other place. Like, are we gonna suddenly see Starfall? What's the name of the Dane's castle? Isn't it called Starfall? Pretty sure it's called Starfall. Dawn was in last season. The sword Dawn was in last season. Was that sword Dawn? I mean, I saw a sword, but I didn't know if it was Dawn or not. See, that's the thing. Are we going to see Howland Reed? If we see Mira go home, then I think we will see Howland Reed. Do you think the balding man in the trailer at the werewood tree next to Bran might be Howland Reed, or is that the cameo of Bloodraven being Bran? I think it's either Bloodraven or it's either the new Maester that's at Winterfell. Why was Littlefinger dumbed down in the show? Because the writers of the show don't know how to write intrigue. How will the mountain die, or can he even die? I think that he might be able to die by fire, because he is technically a white. Does Bran have the power to ward white animals like a white mammoth? Not entirely sure, but if I had to guess, I would say that Bran's power is probably limited to living beings. I thought they returned Dawn. I swear I saw it somewhere. Hmm. Trying to think. Was Dawn returned? Am I just being stupid right now? Was Dawn returned? Okay, let me think. So Ned Stark goes back to Starfall. I think yes, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. Dawn was confirmed, then right after that, she kills herself. Supposedly kills herself. So I don't even know what I was thinking. Dawn was returned, wasn't it? I think I just got confused for some stupid reason. Can a white be directly warged? I mean, there's no evidence of that, but I don't know. I don't know. Is Lightbringer an actually sword? I've heard that. I've heard someone say that Lightbringer could be a dragon, because a dragon is literally Lightbringer. Yeah, so Dawn was returned to Starfall. I don't even know what I was talking about just then. I don't even know what I was talking about. Yeah, yeah. Quinn, I don't Q&A. I don't know about the Littlefinger must die hype that everyone has. I don't think they would be showing him failing left and right if he wasn't going to swing the other way somehow. I think he'll have his big moment. I think ultimately he's going to die in this season. We got to get rid of him. That character has to go. Will Mira being at Winterfell? With Mira being in Winterfell, how will Holland Reed show up, possibly collaborate with Bran, claim about Jon? I think Mira will probably go home, and then he'll show up, and then we'll see him in the marshlands. Is Azor Ahai a false prophecy? I think Azor Ahai just refers to many different people throughout history. I did a video. There are two walls on the five forts of Yiti and stuff, and I talk about the legends of the last hero, and there's all different sorts of legends all over the world. So what I think is really going on is that there were multiple people throughout the world that did things that people attributed to ending the long night. Q&A, will we see more dragon riders besides Daenerys? I mean, I think so. I hope so. Because in the books, it's constantly said that the dragon has 3 heads. She must... I think it means that Daenerys needs 2 others in order to successfully do what she needs to do. So I think she needs 2 other people to ride the dragons. But as far as whether or not that will happen in the show, I think it remains to be seen. Because in the show, it's very clear that Daenerys can control all 3 of them by herself. So it's not even a problem in the show. Any words on who will play Rhaegar? Who will play Rhaegar? I don't know. Just anybody with blonde hair, with really light blonde, or they can give him a wig. I don't even think it matters. Johnny Depp. Hire Johnny Depp. like in Fantastic Beasts, like random Johnny Depp showing up at the end. Like Johnny Depp as Rhaegar Targaryen. I wonder how the HBO fandom would react to that. I swear to God, I'd die. I'd die. Is it possible that Baelish would have some solid proof of Jon's parentage, and that's why he'll bring chaos to the north? How exactly would Baelish, if he does have any proof of it, he hasn't given any indication or hint that he has. How the hell did that slip your mind? Well, it's a lot to keep up with. There's a lot going on. Will Euron's black Valyrian steel armor appear in the show and be used by Jon? I'm hoping that Jon will somehow be able to possess and wear it. That'll be a great visual for the story. I mean, I'm hoping that the Valyrian steel armor shows up, even if it's not Euron's. I'm hoping that it just shows up anyways. I feel like that would be excellent. I want to see it so bad. Do you think the people in Yiti and the Shire are shitting themselves over the long night, just like in the North? Just like the North is? I don't see how they couldn't know, because Melisandre already knew. Melisandre knows about the long night almost before anyone. Melisandre is like, yeah, the long night is coming. In the beginning of season 2, Melisandre's like, the long night is coming. Like, she's already seen it. So I'm sure that the people of Shai and the people in the Far East already see it coming. And as far as Yiti goes, and the Grey Waste, I mean, I would not be surprised if they're having similar problems in the Grey Waste right now. Like with the dead rising in the Grey Waste. Because like I said in my Yiti video, the Grey Waste is connected to the Land of Always Winter. I'm saying it. It is. I feel like it is. I mean, that's my hunch, and I'm sticking to it. So, guys, we've gone for about an hour and a half on this live stream. So, time to wrap things up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We talked about the leaks for a little bit. And I know I'll get those comments when this goes live. And you didn't talk about the leaks enough. But I said I was only talking about the first 3 episodes anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching. Throw me a like if you already haven't before you go. Just throw one in there. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys next week on Thursday. And, yeah. Peace out, guys. Ugh, I'm so glad that shit's over. Fucking stupid fucking motherfuckers asking me fucking questions. God damn it. Stupid people. I hate them all. Ugh. They're all trash. Every last one of them. I'm just kidding, I'm still here. You thought I was talking shit, didn't you? But seriously, I gotta go. Bye.